Hello, my name is Jeremy Jacobs, and this is an informative speech for Dr. Martin's oral communications class. The topic of this speech is tornadoes, and this is to inform people on how severe weather works, mainly tornadoes, and the impact it has on the economy and people that are affected. Each year, in the U.S., there are roughly 60 deaths in the United States because of tornadoes. And one thing about tornadoes, they can happen on any day, at any time, any place in the United States. First, we're going to go over the majority of places of where they happen, and this is it right here. Everybody's heard of Tornado Alley, which is Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Minnesota. But then there's also Dixie Alley, which we're involved in, which is Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And it can come down a little further, and it does, as we saw just a couple days ago. There are two types of tornadoes. Of supercells. There's the HP supercell, which is a high precipitation, where you'll have rain rep tornadoes and you won't be able to see them. And there's the LP, which is a low precipitation, where you'll have your rain off to where the downdraft is, and the tornado will be where you can see it visible. Those are perfect for people that are out storm chasing and want to get a good look. This is what a surface map would look like on a day where we'd have severe weather. You have lows that come in from the west, and this happens constantly. This is the jet stream, which is about 30,000 feet in the air. It can run up to 100 miles an hour. I put a high pressure in because you're going to have a high, this is a ridge and this is a trough. The low actually bends the jet stream, and it brings in cold, dry air on the backside of it with a cold front attached to it. And then it also brings in warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico. And if a high was there, it would do the same thing. And where they collide, you got winds coming this way and winds coming this way. And that right there would get your spin in the atmosphere, and kind of coming off of this trough here, about like a ski jump. This area right here would probably be where the majority, or what SPC would give the highest rating, and this around it would be also be prone to severe weather the same day. And as this low moves across the United States, this cold front drag along with it, and there'll be moisture still around. The cold front will fire up storms, and this is when you usually see shelf clouds. There's those big, long, scary-looking clouds, and what causes them? The air comes down from the top of the atmosphere and stretches the cloud out downward. And usually with those, you have wind gusts up to 60, 70 miles an hour. But this is what a surface map would look like on a day with severe weather, or a severe weather outbreak. Next, we're going to go over ways to stay aware of tornadoes. The best way is the weather radio. You can't go wrong with a weather radio. There's also apps for your phone, and then you've got your local news and their watches and warnings. But if you live out in the country and severe weather's happening, your satellite, you may lose it and you won't be able to see the weather. So a weather radio is where to go. You can purchase them at Walmart or anywhere, and they are 100% effective. And I advise everybody that lived in one of the two places I showed, Dixie Alley or Tornado Alley, to have a weather radio. The deadliest outbreak that's happened since 1974 was the outbreak that happened in 2011. Between April 25th and April 28th. There were 337 tornadoes, $11.2 billion in damage, and 3,621 injuries. And per NOAA states that on the 27th alone in the state of Alabama, there were 62 tornadoes, 221 fatalities, and 1,999 injuries. That was it is the worst outbreak we've had since 1974. And in closing, tornadoes, they range. They have the EF scale, EF0 to EF5. So you got winds from an EF0, 0 to 73 miles an hour, and you got EF5 winds from 261 to 318 miles an hour. I mean, so they're nothing to play with, and if everybody would get just a little bit of education, you can go online, and there's many ways to find out about it. It would help you deeply. Thank you very much, and this is my speech over tornadoes and severe weather. Thank you.
You did a great job. And this cat over here just about lost it with me. Really? First he jumps up in front of his pants right off the bat.
And this is my audience.
Big audience.
Thank y'all very much for listening to my speech.
You did great.